Hello YouTube, Dave back again with another recipe, and today I'm going to be doing a nice fish pie. So I've got everything prepared. I've weighed out 58 grams of half fat cheddar, which is 2 healthy A's. So basically I'm going to make this pie make at least 4 portions, so it's probably going to be half a healthy A, because I like to use some of the rest for my milk in my tea. So there's my cheese there. Here's some nice pollock. These are frozen. This is the first time I've used this fish, but it was such a good deal in Lidl's. It was $2.99 for a whole kilogram of frozen pollock, and there's literally about 15 of these in a pack. It's a massive bag for $2.99, so hopefully I like it. As well as that, for a different taste, I've got half a bag of prawns. These are the quite large variety, but it doesn't matter, and if you're making a fish pie, just use whichever fish you'd like. You know, even I've used tinned fish before in it, tuna, sardines, anything you like in there. Right, for our veggies in the bottom, got a bit green this week, so I've got some spinach and some frozen garden peas, and just to mix up the colour a bit, I've got some frozen sweet corn. I'm going to slice up these mushrooms. We've got some rather sorry looking potatoes. These are the last of my bag of potatoes. So I'm just trying to use them up, so I'm going to peel those and we'll do some mash with them for the pie topping with the cheese on the top. And I am going to put some lemon in the bottom with the fish, and then also in the base we'll have some Dave's old favourite mixed herbs, some ground black pepper, a little bit of salt, and I also have a little bit of Jif lemon, my fake copy. But yeah, that'll also go in there to just give it a nice lemony flavour that goes so well with the fish. I've just realised I've missed off the garlic as well, so we'll get that out of the cupboard shortly, but I'm just going to put a few cloves of garlic in there as well. That's to taste, not everyone likes it. Another thing that would go nice in there, but I'm keeping it out of mine because my wife doesn't like it, is some red chilli. If you had a proper red chilli and grated that up in the base, that would go lovely. Okay, but I'll get chopping and come straight back to you. Right, just before I start chopping the veggies, I just thought I'm going to, as these are frozen, I'm just going to pop the microwave on the defrost setting, so nice low setting, and pop the fish and the prawns in for just about 10 minutes. It'll just soften the fish up enough for me to cut it, and also make sure it's cooked through properly when we do it later. Okay. Right, I'm just waiting for the fish to defrost in the microwave, but in the meantime I've chopped in the oven dish. I've just chopped up all my veg, and I fry lighted the dish and then placed all the veg in and give it a good mix up. So I've got sweet corn, peas, spinach and mushrooms all in there. I've just put some salt and pepper on, and also I've crushed 2 small chunks of garlic in there. Now I'm just going to take my lemon juice and just get a good amount in there at the bottom, just so it doesn't stick and gives it a nice taste. I'm being quite generous with this because there isn't any other liquid going in. Right, now once that's in, I'm going to take half of my lemon and just layer it inside. In fact, I'm going to take the lot. I was going to put some lemon on the top, but I forgot I've got the cheese going on the top. Not very well prepared today. Oh dear. There we go. That'll give it a lovely citrusy flavour. And what we'll do, we'll chop up the fish when that's done and place that with the prawns on the top, and then we'll peel the potatoes and get some mash going. So I'll come back to you shortly. Okay, right, our potatoes are all peeled and chopped. When you're chopping the potatoes, just try and chop them into the same size chunks as close as possible, just so they cook at the same time. So my kettle's boiled, so I'm just pouring in boiling water, and we'll put that on the hob. Just so they're covered. And I always put a bit of salt in the water there just to flavour the potatoes a little bit. So let's get some salt. Sorry if the picture disappears. I'm just carrying the hot potatoes. I've already put my hob on. I'll put it on full until it boils and then turn it down just to let them simmer for around 25 to 30 minutes, just until we can mash the potato. Okay. Alright, using a pair of trusty kitchen scissors, I've chopped up the pollock into nice chunks and mixed it with the prawns. So what I'm going to do is take this plate, and I'm not going to, there is a little bit of liquid on the plate, but I'm going to keep that in there because that'll be lovely, it'll have lovely fish flavourings, and add that to the dish and just make it even more tasty. So I'm just going to take my plate and tip that in, and we'll position it afterwards. Get those odd prawns. Right. Sorry about this. Just get the odd prawns back. There we go. Right. I'm just going to use my hands just to even out the fish, just so it's all on top of the veg, so we all get fish and veg in each mouthful. Yeah, there's not loads of fish, but it's just enough to flavour it all. Right, what I'm going to do now is add some more lemon. I'm just going to get my reserve lemon because I've run out of the other one. I'm as well prepared as normal. Right, here we go. So just put a bit more lemon on there. Again, a nice generous amount. Want a nice lemony taste. And some more black pepper, salt and mixed herbs. Right, there we are. What I am going to do is also add a capful of distilled vinegar, just really evenly over the fish, just to give it a little bit more acidity. But I'll do that off camera because I need two hands just to do it evenly. But that's to taste. That's not necessarily, if you don't like vinegar, you don't need to add that. And malt vinegar would do if you've not got distilled as well. It's just I prefer the clear colour just for the colouring of the veggies, just so they don't go brown colour. But I'll come back to you once our potatoes are done and we've made some mash. Okay. Oh, very steamy. Anyway, right, our potatoes are cooked. I've just drained them off in the dish, and I'm just going to add a little bit of salt, a few mixed herbs, and some pepper. Right, I'll mash those up and come back to you because I will need two hands to mash these up. Right, our potatoes are all mashed, and you'll notice there's no fat gone into there, no butter, no milk. I've just mashed the potatoes as they were, boiled. Now, to make sure I got a really stinky breath when I eat this, I've added some garlic powder to the potatoes, but again that's to taste. And I just decided to do that at the last minute, just to give it a bit of extra flavour. But yeah, that'll give it a nice garlicky taste. And all I'm going to do is spoon this on to the mixture and just create even piles, and then we'll worry about spreading it evenly afterwards. So there we go. To there. Just getting good lumps. It'll basically sticky. Doesn't want to escape that one. Here's another one. There we go. Use all that potato. I've probably done a little bit too much potato, but what I love about this meal, it's got all your veg, all your potato, all your fish, all in one dish. So basically, when you reheat this, you've got a complete meal. You could serve it with some peas, I suppose, if you wanted more peas, or perhaps some beans if you wanted to have some sauce with a potato. Potato, can't speak. But yeah, you've got your complete meal in one nice dish. Sorry about this. Just trying to get the last bits. I don't want to waste any potato. Yeah, sorry if the filming goes a bit dodgy for a sec. There we go. Oh, I really don't want to waste any. Right, so we've basically covered it almost already, and I've not even done it properly yet. But if you're going for the rustic look, you could leave it like that and have ridges. In fact, I might do that, you know, just for a change. I'll just pat it down just a little bit, just so all the fish is covered. But I'm going to go for a more rustic look than normal. If you wanted to, you could get a fork and put your own in. What will happen, you see, with these ridges, they'll get nice crispy bits, which is a bonus. Now, remember our cheese. 58 grams of half fat cheddar there. And basically, because I'm thinking this will be 4 portions or possibly even more, at most that's going to be half a healthy egg. So you've still got some for your milk on your porridge, or well, if you have skimmed anyway. There we go, I'm just evenly spreading this bit of cheese on. Really, it's just to give it a little flavouring. We don't want it overpowering the fish, just a little cheesy bonus. There we go. Right. I'm going to cook that tonight because it's only dinner time at the moment, and this is going to be our evening meal. So what I'll do, I'll come back to you later, but basically stick the oven on around between about 210, and I would think it'd take about half an hour to 40 minutes. Just keep checking it, and just until the cheese is golden brown on the top. Might be worth just taking a sample when you're thinking of taking it out, just to check the fish is cooked through. Remember to preheat the oven as well, because otherwise you might have 10 minutes of that warming up and it's only actually cooked for 20 minutes, which is a common mistake. But yeah, I'll come back to you later and hopefully show you a lovely finished dish. Thanks for watching, see you later, bye. Hello YouTube, I've just fished the fish pie out of the oven and it's cooked beautifully there and smells absolutely delicious. I'm just going to serve up a chunk on the plate just so you can see the finished middle, and so I know the fish is cooked. I'm just going to cut it into 4. There we go. They're quite big sized portions, but it is quite a thin layer of potato. Right, I'll just lift this across, so sorry about my filming. Nice, and as you can see there's nice, plenty of liquid in the bottom for the lemony taste. Oh yeah, that smells absolutely delicious. And there we have our finished dish. Beautiful fish pie. Right, thanks for watching this, and see you next time.